jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight? Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov? Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's gonna do to him? Run him out of the ring!
Oscar De La Hoya's sudden change of heart has stirred controversy just months before one of the most anticipated fights in modern boxing history. In a recent interview, De La Hoya admitted that he once believed Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez, but now he doesn't think that's likely to happen. Crawford fired back at De La Hoya's statement, dismissing it as an easy narrative shift that won't affect the outcome.
And he fights at 168 plus, so I don't see me and him fighting. So,
what's the highest you could fight at realistically?
I would say 154 realistic.
154.
You know,
So
them boys get big up there. Them boys get big up there. And I'm not a person to, too long.
Originally, De La Hoya fully backed Terence Crawford. He even claimed Crawford could fight comfortably at 168 pounds, praising his strength versatility and high ring IQ. It was a nod to the classic saying, "A good big man beats a good little man," except De La Hoya argued that Crawford wasn't the little man. But in a surprising turnaround, De La Hoya now calls the fight unfair and favors Canelo, suggesting it's nearly a no contest. This flip-flop has left many fans puzzled.
Cards, it will be 4 fights, and we will have Canelo Crawford and the co-main event, and 2 fights. One of them is Gerald and Miller, if we finish it. Then there is another card, start earlier, for free for everywhere. We are thinking to put around from 6 to 10 fights.
Terence Crawford didn't let the U-turn slide. Responding calmly but firmly, Crawford called out De La Hoya's inconsistency, pointing out how his stance on Canelo seems to shift constantly. But Crawford made something else clear. This fight isn't just another high-profile clash. It's a historic opportunity. If Crawford beats Canelo and becomes undisputed in a third-weight class, he'll be the first male boxer in history to do so. Not even legends like Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones Jr., or Floyd Mayweather have achieved that. Yet, despite his accolades and skills across divisions, Crawford still faces skepticism, especially when it comes to the strength of his resume.
All about making history. I was the first 2-time undisputed champion of the world. I'm not gonna show you the first 3-time undisputed champion.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has echoed that concern. While praising Crawford's talent, Hearn lamented that Crawford hasn't had the chance to face marquee opponents in their prime. He clarified this wasn't a knock on Crawford, but rather a reflection of boxing politics that denied him those big-name fights. Crawford's victories over names like Ricky Burns, Kell Brook, Amir Khan, and Errol Spence Jr. are impressive, but critics argue that Brook and Khan were past their prime, and Spence came off a serious car accident and long layoff. This weakens Crawford's case for some observers when comparing him to Canelo's resume.
Charlo. Oh, you really think that he's gonna knock out Crawford? I would pick Terence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't gonna tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret, is the reason why I'm picking him to win the fight.
Canelo's resume, by contrast, is packed with big names across multiple divisions. Floyd Mayweather, Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, Miguel Cotto, Caleb Plant, and more. Though some of these wins came under complicated circumstances like age, timing, or controversy, the fact remains that Canelo has consistently fought top-tier talent. That's why, despite past tensions with Canelo, figures like De La Hoya and Hearn now lean toward him. He's not just bigger, he's more experienced in legacy-defining fights.
I say before, he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Poster wasn't elite?
However, many fans and analysts strongly disagree with the idea that this is a mismatch. Terence Crawford's technical brilliance is the great equalizer. His footwork, ring generalship, ability to switch stances, and masterful timing make him one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet. Against Errol Spence Jr., Crawford didn't just win, he dominated. He made a world-class opponent look completely out of his depth, showing calm precision and patience. Yes, jumping to super middleweight is a challenge, but stylistically, Crawford may offset Canelo's size with sheer IQ and efficiency. He doesn't waste energy, doesn't get hit clean often, and if he can absorb Canelo's power, the rest of the fight could swing in his favor.
More for your career than fighting David Benavidez?
You can see the career of Terence Crawford Benavidez. Terence Crawford is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, many championship fights. So he bring me something.
Still, Oscar De La Hoya's change of tone raises eyebrows. Some speculate that his support for Canelo is rooted in promotional politics or a calculated effort to reduce risk. De La Hoya has been both a supporter and a critic of Canelo, especially after their ugly split when Canelo left Golden Boy Promotions. But with the rise of the Saudi boxing scene shifting the sport's power dynamics, money and mega events seem to be healing old rivalries. Saudi advisor Turki Al-Sheikh, who now plays a central role in organizing the sport's biggest fights, appears to be uniting former foes under the same roof.
Well,
Is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another elite
There is
fighter
a champions,
in
good fighters, but elite fighters is different. Wait.
So I'm going to fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
we're
gonna
gonna find out.
Then we're
We're
going
gonna
to
find out.
Then we're gonna
And
fight.
don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great
You ain't gotta
fighter.
tell
But
me
you're
I'm
gonna
great.
find out. I hope
But I'm talking about
your
elite.
uncle Turki Al-Sheikh pay you enough money because it's gonna be the last. That's
It
for
may
sure.
be. It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But you know, after fighters fight me, they never.
Turki Al-Sheikh has been instrumental in setting up the Canelo versus Crawford bout. Reports suggest he met with Crawford before the official announcement, where Crawford confided that this could be his final fight. That revelation adds an emotional layer to an already monumental matchup. Crawford has no plans for a rematch clause, and it's unclear whether Canelo's team has insisted on one. The implication? This is Crawford's defining moment. A chance to write the final historic chapter of his career. Fighters rarely get to choose how they leave the sport. But if Crawford retires after this bout, undefeated and undisputed in 3 divisions, he may walk away on top with history in hand.
Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable.
There's also a new financial wrinkle that could change the intensity in the ring. According to Al-Sheikh, knockout bonuses will be introduced not just for this fight, but for others going forward. The idea, borrowed from MMA and gaming culture, is designed to make high-profile boxing more action-packed. The timing is no coincidence, especially after Canelo's uneventful win over William Skull, which some fans found uninspiring. These new incentives could push both fighters to take more risks and go for the finish.
You need to put a small ring, the smaller ring in the...
Hey, Matt. Yeah. The only running that I'm going to be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts. And he got a big head, too.
Carl Frock, never shy with his opinions, shared his take on the Canelo versus Crawford matchup during an interview with Fadala. His view goes against the growing pro-Canelo narrative. Frock praised Crawford's underrated size and adaptability, saying, "That's a good fight. Crawford is bigger than you think. I just believe size matters, and he's definitely bigger than the weight class he's been in. I think he'll grow into it. Frock believes Crawford won't just bulk up, but will thrive at 168 without compromising his style. While many are wary of Crawford moving up 3 weight classes, Frock sees it as a golden opportunity, not a risk.
Disappointment if this did normal boxing numbers, and let's be real, what Jake Paul is gonna say. He already shitted on this fight. Don't let the numbers not come anywhere close to his numbers with Tyson, and it's gonna be all bad. Would it even matter if Bud and Canelo didn't do the numbers of Jake and Tyson? Or is that an indictment on the sport that, it's just showing what our fan base prefers.
Carl Frock underlined Crawford's strengths, his skill set, versatility, and mindset. He's incredibly smart and skilled. He's definitely capable of defeating whoever he faces in the ring. I'd probably pick Crawford to beat Canelo, Frock stated, and it wasn't a casual statement coming from someone who has fought Andre Ward, Mikkel Kessler, and George Groves. Such an endorsement holds weight. Frock wasn't peddling hype, he was expressing his belief that the current version of Canelo may not have enough left in the tank to handle someone like Crawford.
No, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much.
Frock was open about why he believes Canelo's performance is deteriorating, especially after his most recent fight. Frock claimed Canelo has passed his peak. He did not look sharp, citing a loss of hunger and urgency. He's not driven when facing fighters who run or avoid exchanges. Why would he walk into shots if he's already ahead on points? He prefers an easy night's work. Frock's comments suggest a boxer more focused on preservation than pushing his limits. It's not a lack of ability, but a willingness to coast.
You don't run. And Turkey has a knockout bonus in this fight. And there seems to be something out there like the way for you to win this fight is to move, move, move. Is that true?
Listen.
Turkey, you need to put a small ring. The smaller ring in the...
Later in the same interview, Frock reiterated the point. Canelo has passed his prime. He's fought over 60 times and made millions. Why is he still fighting? But he admitted that a super fight against Crawford could change everything. Frock questioned whether Canelo still has the motivation to take big risks now that his legacy and wealth are secure.
It's Crawford, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show.
He could lose this fight, Frock said, and whoever loses will face serious criticism, especially because so many people think Crawford will win. Frock praised Crawford as a big fight performer, a tough, mentally strong competitor. But he also gave Canelo his due, describing him as a student of the game who has faced the best of the best.
And here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand what Terence Crawford's, what a big part of his number one asset is. Do you know he has a 74-inch reach? Floyd Mayweather has a 73-inch reach.
Wow.
Okay? They're able to reach their opponents much easier than other fighters. Their arms are extremely long. This is why Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is
Teddy Atlas echoed a similar sentiment on his YouTube show. The veteran trainer and analyst said that while Canelo has had an incredible career, Crawford possesses a rare kind of greatness. Canelo is a great fighter, but Crawford stands out to me, Atlas said. He acknowledged that Crawford's resume may not be as deep as some would like, but emphasized that greatness isn't just about opponents. You either have it or you don't. And I think Crawford does.
I kind of he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convincing. And then you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's a big lump. So I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back.
Atlas also questioned whether Canelo is as untouchable as some believe. Canelo is a great fighter, but is he overrated? He asked. Atlas believes Crawford's power goes beyond physical strength. It lies in his will, intelligence, and legacy. I know he's moving up in weight classes. Can he carry it? Maybe. But he has the intangibles.
The thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you can't.
Sergio Mora added another nuanced perspective. The former world champion noted that the old boxing adage, a great big man beats a great small man, doesn't necessarily apply here. Canelo struggled in his last fight against a guy who cut off the ring. It's not just about size, it's about what's left in the tank after so many years of fighting. Canelo's lost a step.
Enough power to hurt him. I just got to beat him. That's it. If he slip up, then, you know, he will get hurt.
Time to go to work.
Interestingly, Mora pointed out something often overlooked. Crawford is actually younger than Canelo. He may look older, but he's got fewer miles on his body. Mora said Crawford is bulking up smartly, not just adding mass. He looks taller and broader than Canelo now. He's doing it the right way.
Cause what all these streamers and these other YouTube guys, they didn't turn boxing into it's like a comedian show. It's just putting anybody in the ring. So Crawford and Canelo, good thing that fight is coming, because it's kind of put some kind of legitimacy back to boxing. Would you ever think a few years ago you would say?
As for how he sees the fight going, Morris said, I think it's a decision-type battle. Canelo won't leave unscathed. He'll be a little beaten and battered, but he'll win the decision. While he gives Crawford credit for early success, Mora believes Canelo will do enough to edge out the win. Still, it's the kind of fight that could reshape both fighters' careers.